All right, so we wanted to take some of our most frequently asked questions from you, the listener, and have the experts answer these questions. So our topics go everywhere between food and exercise, but they go into all wellness related things. And because we are your wellness team, we figured we would be the best team to answer these questions. So our first question is for you, Maya, and that is, how many fruits and vegetables should I eat if I'm watching my sugar?
That is a great question. And the answer to this question is it depends. And I'll tell you more about what it depends on. The amount of fruits and veggies we need depends on our age, sex, height, weight, physical activity levels, right? It can also depend on whether you're pregnant or breastfeeding. You will need more in those two cases. One serving of vegetable is 1 cup of raw or cooked veggies or 2 cups of leafy greens. For example, recommended vegetable intake for a 30 to 60-year-old woman is 2 to 3 cups per day, and for a man the same age is 3 to 4 cups per day. So as you can see, it is very different depending on the gender or sex. However, if you look at the ages, it's going to also be different, right? When it comes to fruit, 1 cup of fresh fruit or half the cup of dried fruit or 1 cup of 100% fruit juice is 1 serving. For a woman 30 to 60 years old, she would need about 1.5 to 2 cups per day. And the man, the same age, will need 2 to 2.5 cups per day, right? So if you're watching your sugar intake, which is part of the question as well, I would recommend focusing on non-starchy veggies. So be your leafy greens, broccoli, carrots, cabbage, cauliflower, zucchini, tomatoes, cucumbers, green beans, and more. In other words, you want to avoid starchy options such as potatoes, sweet potatoes, beets. When it comes to fruit, I would limit dried fruit and fruit juices specifically if you're watching sugar. Just about all other options are perfectly fine, but you may want to focus on some lower glycemic fruits such as strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, kiwi, or grapefruit. I hope this answers this question. And the next one is for Kevin, and the question is, I walk almost every day. How much cardio do I need?
Excellent. So again, it's going to be this depends, but so the American Heart Association says we need about 150 minutes of moderate to intense physical activity per week for a healthy lifestyle. But the American College of Sports Medicine says we need 250 minutes of moderate to intense physical activity per week for weight loss. So walking is a great way to start an exercise program. So in the beginning, walking will be that moderate to intense physical activity that is recommended. But once you hit a certain fitness level, walking alone isn't going to get your cardiovascular system taxed enough to get the health benefit that you're looking for. So you need to increase that intensity. So this could be done with adding some speed, adding some inclines, or carrying a load. And something like that could be like you just carry a backpack or a rucksack, you're holding a child, or you hold some small weights. But the goal is going to be to get your heart rate back up into that 60 to 85% of your max heart rate zone, or maybe like a 6 or a 7 on the rate of perceived exertion scale.
Really cool.
So again, it's a lot of
It
a lot of
depends.
variables in there. All right, so the next question again is for you, Maya. It is, I always seem to lose energy at the end of my workouts.
Mhm.
What can I do to prevent that?
Yeah, and I hear this question a lot. That really doesn't matter how old you are, how fit you are. It is really important to fuel for those workouts. Most importantly, do not skip meals, right? Even if you want to lose the weight, you should not be skipping too many meals. Have a meal low in fat and moderate in protein 2 to 4 hours before a workout session. You want to eat a bigger breakfast. Double up on, wheat toast, oatmeal, yogurt. Take a little bit of pressure off the lunch, especially if you're going to work out later in the day. Bring snacks in your backpack to your workout to consume during the workout if you really feel that you need a little something. Something like pretzels, trail mix with dried fruit and no nuts, because high-fat meals don't feel that good in our belly during the workout session. Dry cereal is fine. Oranges, tangerines, bananas, fruit cups, granola bars. A light, high fluid snack on your way as well. Something like a non-fat yogurt or a chocolate milk can be a wonderful option. Low-fat sport shake is also great. Ideally, you want to fuel with about 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrate, low in fat and fiber, within an hour before practice. So remember that you can consume 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrate per hour during exercise as well, if you need it. Fluids should always be consumed along with solid foods during training. And don't use energy drinks to make up for underfueling. That's going to backfire because it will only accelerate your body's use of glucose, which is sugar, and then that will move you more quickly into a catabolic state, which is that state when you break out muscle. And that's exactly opposite of what we want, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and next question is for Kevin, and it is, how many days a week should I exercise?
Oh, this is a fun one because it varies off of your goals. But if we go back to my previous question, where we need to get 150 to 250 minutes of moderate to intense physical activity a week, and we add in at least 2 days of weight training, this could be you exercising between 4 and 7 days a week. But honestly, the biggest factor with this is going to be how well you can recover. So exercise isn't one size fits all. So we have to figure out what works for you. So it might be as you're a little bit younger and you can recover from your workouts faster, you might be able to work out 6 or 7 days a week. But as we get that 3-letter age word on us, it takes us longer to recover. We can still do all the things the young folks can do, but as we've gotten a little bit older, it takes us a little bit longer to recover. So instead of working out 6 or 7 times a week, it might only be 4 or 5 times a week. But again, we still need to get that 150 to 250 minutes of cardiovascular activity and at least 2 days of weightlifting in there. So we can split that up however we need.
Yeah, so that's why there's Kevin here, right? They can help you guys figure it out. Come and he will come up with a workout plan that's just for you.
All right, so our last question for Maya is going to be, is intermittent fasting helpful? And if yes, what is the best approach?
If I had a penny for every time I was asked that question, it's a very popular approach that has been popularized in social media and popular media everywhere lately. So yes, a short answer is yes, it can be helpful, but it's not for everyone. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting can lead to improvements in health conditions such as obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancers, even neurological disorders. So the evidence is less clear on how it impacts longevity, though, so we don't know that yet. Animal studies have shown mixed results with sex, food composition, age, and genetics among the factors that influence longevity. Human trials have mainly involved relatively short-term interventions, and so we don't really have clear answer just yet. Although intermittent fasting can result in reduced calorie consumption, weight loss is not the main driver of the health benefits that are observed in preclinical and clinical studies. Rather, the key mechanism in metabolic switching is when the fasting actually triggers the body to switch from the source of energy, from sugar or glucose to ketones, which are stored in our fat. So that drives us into what's called ketogenesis, right? Of the increase in ketones in our bloodstream, and that initiates activity in a variety of cellular signaling pathways known to influence health and aging. So this activity enhances the body's defenses against oxidative metabolic stress and initiates the removal or repair of damaged molecules. The impact of ketogenesis carries over into the non-fasting period and can improve glucose regulation, increase stress resistance, and suppress inflammation. So in other words, there are quite a few very positive impacts or side effects if done right. So how can it be done? Commonly studied regimens include alternate day fasting. So for example, you will eat normally for 5 days and then fast, as in not eat anything except drink water for 2 days. It's very tough. Also, some people do the daily time restricting feeding, which is eating only during a 6 or 8 hour window, which is probably the most popular and the most common one. Another one would be the alternate day fasting. So you will eat one day and not eat the other day. The one I mentioned previous, the alternate day, time restricting feeding is the one that's probably the most reasonable to start with. 16-8 is the most common and the most popular one. In other words, you would eat in an 8-hour window and then fast for 16 hours. If you are curious about trying, that's probably the best one to experiment with. With that being said, I do need to list a few groups that intermittent fasting is definitely contraindicated for. Those will be children and teenagers who are still growing, women who are pregnant or breastfeeding, people who are recovering from a surgery or otherwise are compromised. People with eating disorders, definitely a big no-no there. People with diabetes that are on insulin, otherwise, it's fine. People who are underweight and older adults who experience weakness and just they're frail. So that's a little bit about IF.
Well, again, listeners, you can schedule your appointment with Maya so you can talk about a little bit more in-depth intermittent fasting. So
yes, please. Like anything else, with workouts and nutrition, approach is always individualized. It's really hard to come up with one recommendation for all. So please come see me and Kevin for all the questions you have. We have one more question for Kevin. That is, what are the benefits of weightlifting or building muscle versus only cardio?
Okay, so weightlifting has so many health benefits. So some of them are going to be like increasing your bone density, tendon and ligament strengthening, increasing your metabolism and toning up, improving your balance and coordination, which could help in preventing falls. Building muscle is also going to create a more athletic figure and increase your strength so you can do more physical activities outside of the weight room. So, cardio is great for your heart and lung health and is a key factor in weight loss, but weightlifting has so many different variations that you can incorporate all sorts of lifting that puts you into that cardio zone, which can reduce the amount of time that you need to put in on the bike or the treadmill. So in addition to strength building, it's also helpful in increasing your endurance in your muscles. So if a longer bout of cardio is going to be your goal, something like hiking or jogging or running or walking for distances, then weightlifting should be part of your regular routine. All right, so that is all for our first episode of our Q&A with the Ask the Experts. So we want to hear more from you. So continue sending us your questions. We are always here available to help you with any of your wellness journey needs. You can contact us at
maya.hickman@premixhealth.com
or at kevin.muniz@consultant.volvo.com. So send us your questions and we will talk to you next time.